I don't know whether you find these videos very interesting. I'm talking about my most worn videos. It's been a while since I've done most worn of all time. You're going to see some perfumes that I talk about a lot on this channel, but it would make sense given that they are my most worn perfumes of all time. Just maybe a couple of different ones, some interesting tidbits about each of them, perhaps. So I'm going to start off. It's actually a most worn top 11 because at number 10, and as an aside, the reason I know that these are my most worn, I'm basically purely going by my obsessively compulsive need to enter a scent of the day each day on Base Notes. So Base Notes has been doing all the counting for me, and I just have to make a few clicks and it tells me what my most worn perfumes are for the year, for the last few months, for the week, and in this case, since I started recording Scent of the Days. So let's start off with the tie at number 10 for my most worn perfumes of all time. And they are respectively from the house of L'Occitane Eau de Beau and from Caron Le Troisième Homme or Third Man or Caron Third Man. So I won't say too much about them. This is still available in L'Occitane stores. It's got a different label, different looking label. The bottle is essentially the same and it's only based on one spray in store. I can't detect any discernible difference between what you can buy in L'Occitane stores now compared to this bottle, which I bought way back in probably 2017. And honestly, this is all I've got. I'm surprised by how little I've gotten through in this bottle, but I don't need many sprays of this. And for me, this perfume has really, really good longevity, and it is one of my all-time favorite vanilla perfumes. Now, the other perfume, Caron Third Man, Le Troisième Homme. So, interesting. I was under the false assumption that this had been discontinued, but before I decided to film this video, I did a little bit of research and went on to Caron's website. It's all current, up to date. As of today, you can still purchase this perfume off the Caron website. I'm sure it's available in other places. No change, doesn't appear to be any sort of a superficial change to the bottle or the label. It still looks like this. I bought this bottle back in 2018, and that's also as much as I've used. I think before I bought this bottle, though, I might have had a decant. I'm not too sure actually, but yeah, but this is a 125 ml bottle, by the way, so it kind of makes sense that it doesn't look like too much of a dent. Okay, so at number 9, I have something I bought way back in probably 2017, I want to say at the very earliest 2018, my 50 ml bottle of Declaration from Cartier, been, just a mainstay of my collection. One thing I wanted to mention is if so far the first two I've mentioned I will repurchase if they're available once I'm finished. But as you can see, I'm pretty far away from needing to repurchase. I don't do backup bottles as a rule generally. So Cartier Declaration, I think like I'm more than halfway through this 50 ml bottle, and at this point I will definitely be repurchasing Declaration. At number 8, again purchased it in about 2017, Chanel Antaeus. Look, I firstly I don't really know how much is left in this bottle because it's very difficult to see through the opaque bottle. I reckon I've got less than half of the 50 ml left, but I'm not entirely sure I will be repurchasing this. As much as I still actually enjoy wearing Antaeus, I've kind of just been on the fence with this perfume for a long time. I haven't wanted to sell it or get rid of it, and like I said, I still enjoy wearing it. I just don't think that when it's finished, I'll be rushing out to replace it. And so I want to give myself a bit of time to see if I'm actually going to miss it. I don't believe it's in any danger of being discontinued. I still see it everywhere. So that's Antaeus. At number 7, one of my all-time loves in terms of perfumes, the first appearance of Guerlain. This is Habit Rouge Eau de Toilette. And just so you know, I've only ever owned this Listerine-style bottle, never worn older vintages of this perfume, and haven't smelled what this is like in the new square bottles either. I did get to smell the new Parfum version of Habit Rouge. It is slightly different. It seemed a little bit darker and deeper to me. Actually, it felt closer to me than to the newer Habit Rouge, Rouge Privé that came out earlier last year. But I think Guerlain do generally a good job with any reforms or repackaging. Sometimes I'm not sure, just because it gets put into a different bottle, that the juice actually changes. But there you go. Anyway, I'm very, very happy and in love with this perfume. The next one is Gucci Guilty Absolute. Again, purchased in 2017 when this was released. The interesting thing, I guess the sad, ironic thing, is that this, out of all my bottles in this video, is the newest release. So I don't have anything in this video that was released after 2017. But the thing about it is this is the only one in this list that's actually appears to be discontinued. So I have noticed there is still stock around online on discounters, but I don't see it anymore in any retail stores where they stock Gucci. There's plenty of the other Guilty flankers, but unfortunately Gucci Guilty Absolute doesn't look like it's around anymore. So I will enjoy the rest of my bottle. If I see it online when this is finished, like I'm not going to buy anything before this is finished. If I see it online before it's finished, when it's finished, then as long as it's at a reasonable price, I will repurchase Gucci Guilty Absolute. Okay, we're into the top 5 most worn perfumes now. At number 5 is I purchased this late 2016. It's at my 50 ml of the old style L'artisan Parfumeur Timbuk2. The perfume that really kind of started it all for me in terms of exploring outside of designer brands. I'm kind of loath to use the term niche anymore, but it was one of the original niche brands. And I love this perfume mainly initially. I used to think it was just an amazing perfume. It still is. It's still quite unique. I just don't love it as much as I used to, and for that reason, I'll be finishing this bottle shortly, and I won't be looking to rebuy. It's still available in different packaging, and to me, doesn't smell very different at all in the new packaging, but I don't think I'm going to miss Timbuk2 when it's gone. At number 4, this is kind of I always think of this perfume as the one that sneaks under the radar in terms of how much I enjoy it and how much I wear it, but I never tend to think about it or talk about it too much. I think it's just because it's one of those perfumes that is just created to do a particular thing and just does it almost perfectly. I'm talking about Heritage EDT from Guerlain. This is one where I literally went through a 10 ml decant before I bought this bottle. So it was one where, you know, like it took a little bit of getting used to. The same thing happened with Habit Rouge. But Heritage, I had to go through a big sample before I wanted to commit to a bottle. That's why I don't have a huge dent in this one as well, but it is definitely up there with some of my most worn perfumes ever. Okay, my top three. At number 3, Fahrenheit Eau de Toilette, the original in terms of the original Fahrenheit. This is not a vintage Fahrenheit. This bottle is a 2015 bottle, for your information. I bought this back in 2017. I bought this after I got through a decant of that was gifted to me by my daughter, coincidentally, and then I decided to get a partial bottle off eBay, and no regrets, and I will be repurchasing Fahrenheit when that empties, which won't be too far away at all. Okay, at number 2, former number 1 actually, is 1740 by Histoire de Parfum, the Marquis de Sade. So I had already gone through a 15 ml travel spray of this perfume before I bought this smaller 60 ml bottle. So I still have a fair amount left. Looks like about 30 ml exactly of 1740. Just an interesting thing with this one, I do remember when I had the 1740 travel size, which was I think 15 ml. When you look at the alcohol volume on the list of, on the label, that one there I remember being 79% alcohol, which meant that the concentration of oils was, was about 21%. And I did notice when I bought this bottle that the alcohol volume had changed to 80. So it changed it was a very, very small change, but I didn't really notice any issue with how it smelled or its strength and performance and sillage and projection and all of that kind of thing. So obviously, stuff like this happens. I'm not sure what the reason was for the very slight dilution of the perfume, but again, another one I'll repurchase, and next time around I'll be getting the big bottle, just because I know I'm always going to wear it. Finally, my most worn perfume of all time. There wasn't much of a difference in wears between those, the last 3, but over the last 6 months, I've definitely worn this a lot, and it's pushed it past everything else, and that is Chanel Egoist. This is I think it is about 2015 circa bottle. Truthfully, I have not tried any new Egoists that are in stores. I can't imagine that they're going to be too much different to this one, which I really love. And also this one is one I'm going to be repurchasing as well. So really, they're my most worn perfumes of all time. I guess over the next however many months before I do this again, you probably won't see Timbuk2 in that list, and there'll probably be newer perfumes that I've kind of fallen in love with and be wearing more of, that'll sort of come into the most worn list of all time. But yeah, I hope that was of some interest to you. If you have anything interesting that you might want to tell me about any of those bottles or those perfumes, let me know. And also, if you know what your most worn ever perfume is, please let me know in the comments. I want to know about them. All right, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon with a new video. Bye.